Yeah, hi, I'm Coach Regan. I'm the head men's soccer coach here at Wheeling University, formerly Wheeling Jesuit University. I live in Wheeling now. Was born in Ireland, went to high school in Canada and came to the college in the States, and I've been here since then. My beautiful wife Jill is a teacher at Lindsley School, and we have 4 kids, Sean and Brandon, who are in the business of coaching soccer, and Kyle and Danielle are the other 2 kids not involved in soccer. A lot of people have asked that question over the years, and I think it's all about family. And we moved here, and I met my wife, and we got married. We loved the area. I started teaching elementary school and then part-time coach at Wheeling at first, and Jill was obviously teaching as well. And then once we had a family and kids, and we decided this is the right place for them to raise them, and so that's why we've been in Wheeling pretty much for 37 years now. Well, obviously, growing up in Ireland, my first true love was probably Celtic, which is a classic big-time team in Scotland, Glasgow. Everybody in Ireland, basically, you're Catholic, you supported Celtic, and if you're Protestant, you supported Rangers. But as I grew older and a little bit more mature, I also followed Tottenham Hotspur, the Premier League, and since then, it's always been Tottenham first, and usually Celtic second. So yeah, I've been a lifelong fan of Spurs since I was probably, 10 years old. Not like the fickle young people nowadays who just pick winners. Wow, well, that's a tough one. I mean, I've been fortunate enough to have a lot of mentors in the business, obviously in regards to soccer and what I do now, but I think the biggest and strongest advice has always been from my father. My father, who grew up in Northern Ireland and has no college education, went to work right at 16 and always put his family first and worked basically to support his family so they could have a better life. That's why we moved to Canada and on to the States. So I think that's probably the best advice, and no matter what you do, always give it your best, always work hard, and I follow those values all the time. Wow, well, first coaching job really was coaching my kids. I mean, obviously all of my kids played soccer, so I started with them in youth soccer. So those were really the first years, and even before my kids, it was just growing the sport in the Ohio Valley. I was the director of coaching for the Wheeling Soccer Club when I first got out of college, and so that was really the first thing that I really did, kind of almost like what you consider part-time. And then from there, I was the assistant at Bethany, the graduate assistant at Bethany College. So that's where I, basically got my first college coaching start. And then this position opened up as a part-time position. I was teaching at a small elementary school when the Wheeling job opened up part-time. So I took that, and then a couple years later, I basically turned it into full-time by presenting that we started a women's program as well as a men's. And that's basically how it all started. Wow, that's another tough one. I mean, obviously I've coached women and men, so if I pick one versus the other, the alumni see this, they're all going to question, well, Coach, wasn't this a better one? So, I mean, we've had some great memories here over the years. I mean, the success of the women's programs in national tournaments back in the early years when we first started it, to the men's success in the 90s, and of course the 2000 team that went undefeated throughout their 20-game season and went to the national quarterfinals are the ones that obviously come to mind as some of the fondest memories. But I'm proud of every team that I've coached, and there are some great, fantastic memories. Well, it's simple. I mean, every time, I think regardless of the years that I've been here, the expectations have always been the same initially, that we bring in players who are, first of all, want to be here and love Wheeling University for what it is. And secondly, it's for the soccer program that we've developed over 37 years here, the success and the passion that we have for the sport. And then it's all about the kids having the desire to want to be better.